black sedans, a silent, imposing convoy, navigated the crowded city streets with practiced precision. The midday sun reflected off their dark windows, making them almost invisible against the urban backdrop, blending seamlessly into the flow of traffic. Up ahead, the mundane became menacing as a garbage truck swerved with an unnatural suddenness, blocking their path completely. Before the drivers could react, two more cars, dark and nondescript, boxed them in from behind, a trap sprung with chilling efficiency. The scene erupted into brutal efficiency. Men, moving with swift, brutal precision, rushed the sedans, smashing windows with practiced blows, the sound of splintering glass shockingly loud amidst the city din, a sudden explosion of violence in the everyday landscape. Get out of the car. Spy one yelled, his voice rough and commanding, an immediate threat cutting through the chaos. The assailants, faces grim and determined, searched the vehicles with frantic haste, their movements strict and hurried. Moments stretched, thick with tension, punctuated by the grunts and curses of the searchers. Marcos, we have a problem. It's a decoy gunman one barked into his radio. His voice laced with frustration.
Hey man, don't be saying that out loud too much.
Crap.
Someone take that the wrong way.
Couldn't get in the hole.
Couldn't get in the hole.
This is the hole.
The sound of a plan gone awry. Okay, pack it up. Await further instructions. The assault ended as abruptly as it began, leaving behind shattered glass, abandoned cars, and a lingering sense of cold, calculated malice in the hot city air. The city's pulse resumed, seemingly oblivious to the silent violence that had just transpired. 48 hours. The silence had been deafening, a growing dread that settled heavy in Josie's chest, a suffocating weight. In a rundown hotel room, the flickering television cast dancing shadows on the walls as Miles giggled at cartoons, utterly oblivious, a poignant contrast to the grim reality closing in around them. Josie stood in a cramped, grimy bathroom, her hands trembling as she ripped open the manila envelope Sheila had given her. No word from the Jordans. The protocol. It had begun.
And you can get insurance.
She dumped the envelope's contents onto the counter. A worn cell phone, a handwritten letter, and a small stack of cash. She picked up the phone. It had one pre-programmed number, Samson. She set it down, her gaze fixed on the letter, her heart pounding. Slowly, carefully, she unfolded it, her eyes scanning Sheila's familiar handwriting, each word a painful confirmation of her worst fears. Dear Josie, if you're reading this, then we haven't returned. By now, you've started the protocol. You're safe at the Hotel Sands. You must know that you are a trusted friend, family to us. We value the care you've given Miles more than
a mystery
words.
and a one.
My lawyer has wired money to your account for your immediate needs. Disappear until we
bet your money, bet your money, bet your money, bet your money.
Call the number on the phone and get Miles.
Visiting Eddie, yeah.
He has all of Miles' information. He is a man of honor, and he will protect our son. Thank you.
4 times payout.
Here's
Are we gonna put 2?
His eyes.
All right,
Definitely put 5, bro.
Sheila, always so meticulous, so thoughtful, even in the face of the unthinkable, had prepared for this. Josie wiped her eyes with the back of her hand, then picked up the phone, her fingers hovering over the single button. She took a deep, shuddering breath, then pressed it. Hello? Is this Josie? Samson's voice, surprisingly calm and authoritative, answered on the first ring, a beacon of hope in the mounting despair. Yes, yes, it is, Josie choked out, relief and terror warring in her throat, a desperate sound. We need to meet. I'll bring Miles. Nanny, I'm hungry. Miles's innocent voice echoed from the other room, a sudden, sharp reminder of her immediate responsibility, jolting her back to the present. Josie instinctively covered the phone with her hand. Hold on, sweetie. She called out, then,
I didn't mean to put out 3. I only meant to put out 2. I thought I grabbed the same stack that I
I'll get Miles an ice cream. Okay. How long? Samson asked. His voice
now you be good at the throwing dice table?
Perilous situation.
What is that?
1 hour, Josie repeated, her resolve hardening, a decision made
Hi, James.
uncomfortable with fear. She hung up,
Hello,
her hand
Miss
shaking.
Sale.
She walked out of the bathroom.
I hope I pronounced your name right.
forcing a smile onto her
Yeah,
face.
guys, have a good day. We're playing
Masking the
Monopoly
turmoil.
Jackpot.
All right, Miles, let's go
I'm
to the
Ren.
park.
I
For
look
ice
crazy
cream.
right now because it's hot.
Miles cheered, jumping up from the bench, delighted by the unexpected treat. As he ran to gather his toy car, Josie discreetly
I got
pulled out the
10.
hotel room landline phone.
Give me 10.
She took a deep
10
breath,
what?
stealing
Movie
herself,
time spaces?
then dialed another number. A number she knew by heart. A number she had sworn never to use. A number that now felt like a map for the devil. Marcos, it's me, she said, her voice tight with a mixture of fear and
He's gonna
defiance.
hit Ren and the hat's gonna go flying. And look, this is all from one.
Wherever
He
you
hit
go,
the person and the dog will fly. Then the hat will
colder
fly
than
and the
true
shoe.
wind.
No, the shoe won't fly towards the car, and that's why the
There's
dog
been
got
a change of plans. Bring Miles to me.
That'll do it.
Josie's blood ran cold.
7.
That's not what we agreed. She cried, her voice rising in
Now
protest,
buy it. So
a
keep my
desperate plea. He wasn't supposed to be involved. You promised. We just need him for leverage, Marco said, his voice devoid of all
This is the
warmth,
first time I don't have the
utterly
roast
chilling.
It's almost Roach
Casual
Motel.
dismissal of her anger.
Ooh.
He won't be harmed. Just bring him. Josie hung up, her hand shaking so violently she almost dropped the phone. Marcos. He had betrayed her. He had betrayed them. Her promise to Sheila, her own conscience, screamed in protest. She knew, with chilling certainty, that Marcos' assurances
What's up,
were
son?
worthless. Across the city, in a dimly lit, nondescript room, Marcos stared at the call tracer, a cruel, predatory smile spreading across his face. Josie, you fool.
Double.
You just
That's
let him write
6.
me. Chapter 3. The abandoned swing the air at Echo Park was alive with the easy laughter of children, the gentle murmur of adults, and the sweet,
No, he puts the dice up in the air and takes
sugar
it to
from the
another
ice cream vendor's cart.
Oh, you
Ducks
where's my
glided
phone?
with serene indifference across the shimmering surface of the pond, leaving V-shaped ripples in their wake, while swans preened with an
Give her the whole
almost
200.
regal air. The playground was
Why?
a vibrant tapestry of motion.
I do want to probably.
Swings archaic,
Yeah, you
give her- oh,
their
give her
dreams
$200.
singing a metallic song. Slides offered
It's
exhilarating
maybe
drops, and
No,
the
take your
carousel
money.
spun in a dizzying blur of color
I'm
and
back
Here's my
right
chump
now.
change.
to a
I'm coming back
4-year-old.
right now.
My
It was
chump
a
change.
I'm
splash
gonna
of
have no money
paradise.
at the end of the game.
Miles,
Take about, can I
oblivious
get that
to
$100
the
back?
noise brewing around him, takes a flock of pigeons with childish glee, his
Ooh.
got
bright
3 and a
laughter
question.
echoing across the park. Josie watched
1,
him,
2, 3.
a tight knot of
You're the
anxiety
second
twisting in
yellow
her
one.
stomach.
Next to the
She
gel.
sat on a park bench, the manila envelope clutched in her lap, her eyes darting between Miles's
Ready?
innocent play
Bet.
and the entrance to the park.
They're in.
Every passing face was scrutinized, every unfamiliar car a potential threat. Her mind raced, a frantic kaleidoscope of scenarios. Marcos
Four
insisted the
times.
name.
I got
Sheila's
3.
desperate
3.
plea, Samson's
Dang,
authoritative
man.
words. Her
Oh,
heart
you
hammered
dropped
against
it.
her wrist, a frantic drumming of indecision. Nanny Josie, can I have another scoop? Miles called out, his face smeared with vanilla ice cream, his eyes bright with happiness. Just a moment, sweetie, she replied, her voice a little strained. She reached into her purse, her fingers fumbling for the hotel room phone, the one with Samson's
I
number.
mean, you do, honey.
She had a plan, a
3.
desperate,
That's mine,
last-ditch attempt to do right by Miles. She began to dial, her thumb poised over the final digit, when a sudden, chilling chill swept over her. Not from the breeze, but from the arrival of
Thank
the
you. I love it when you
black
give me
van
my
that pulled up
money.
silently to the curb, its tinted windows
my
reflecting the
hands,
afternoon
thank
sun
you.
like
Thank you,
dark,
thank you.
unblinking eyes. The doors hissed open, and 2 burly men,
Don't be flexing
their
on Monopoly money.
faces grim and unsmiling,
You
emerged.
broke.
They wore nondescript suits, but their movements were too precise.
Get it. Not the spread, the aura
for
farming.
casual party.
Monopoly cash.
Her blood
Oh.
ran cold.
There goes the
Marco.
aura farm.
He hadn't waited. One of the men, a
You
hulking figure
had to
with a
say
big
something.
head, nodded almost imperceptibly towards Miles. Josie's breath hitched. They were here for him. Her mind
I
screamed
just
with
got big dollars, y'all. Don't gamble. Don't do this at home, man.
years
I'm
of
telling you.
survival on the
I only did it because I ain't gonna have no property
Is-
since the kids got a head start on me.
She had made
Is
a
it just
deal,
Monopoly?
So I can just
Not
buy
really.
risky
everything.
bargain born of fear and a misguided sense of self-preservation.
Go
And
ahead.
now the bill was due.
Go ahead, Anna.
She looked at Miles, still laughing, chasing a butterfly near the pond's edge, completely
For
unaware.
listening to my
A
book, I
wave of
just
profound guilt
published on
washed over
Amazon.
Go
her,
ahead, buy that.
hot and stinging. He was so small, so innocent.
$300
This
for the
wasn't
bank.
what Sheila wanted. This wasn't what she had promised, but Marcos had been clear. Leverage, and his threats, subtly delivered, had been far more immediate and terrifying than any potential retribution from a missing agent's contact. The hulking man took a step towards the playground, his gaze fixed on Miles. Josie, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm, made a choice, a terrible, irreversible choice born of fear and desperation. Miles, she called out, her voice unnaturally high. Miles turned, his eyes wide with surprise. Miles, darling, I need you to go to that red slide, the big one. Go down it 3 times. I'll be right here. Miles, confused but eager to please, nodded, his attention caught by the bright red slide. As he ran towards it, his small legs pumping, Jose stood up.
He want to gamble, he can gamble out, he want to gamble.
A faint calm. The 2 men from the van approached her. The boy, the hulking man grunted, his eyes flicking towards the slide. He's distracted, Josie whispered, her voice barely audible. He's over there. She gestured vaguely towards the other side of the car, away from the red slide. A final, futile attempt to buy Miles a few more precious seconds, or perhaps a few more minutes of innocence before the inevitable. As one man peeled off, heading in the wrong direction, the
Except for the
other,
camera.
I ain't handed you
leaner
nobody, the
figure,
camera never lies.
grabbed Josie's arm.
They be on my
You're
side.
coming
Be
with
like,
us.
it's hard these days. It's
Flared
hard to
in
have
Josie's
to
arm.
What you mean? You never stared.
Pickpockets?
She was supposed to just hand him over and disappear. No,
4.
you said he wouldn't be harmed. You said I wouldn't be harmed.
Roach was
Plans
out.
changed,
Bye.
the leaner man
Close
sneered,
your
his grip tightening. He pulled her roughly towards the van. Josie cast one last, desperate look towards the red slide. A silent apology, a profound regret etched on her face. Then, she was shoved into the van, and the door slammed shut.
1, 2, 3, 4,
The
5,
black van
6,
sped
7,
away,
8, 9,
disappearing into the city traffic as if it had never been there,
10,
leaving
11,
behind
12.
only the scent of exhaust and the faint, fading echoes of a child's laughter. Miles, giggling as he slid down the red slide for the 3rd time, looked up, expecting to see Nanny Josie. But the bench was empty. His smile faltered. He called her name, a little uncertainly at first, then with growing alarm. Nanny Josie? The park, so full of warmth moments before, suddenly felt vast and cold. The laughter of the other children seemed distant, alien. He wandered around the playground, then towards the pond,
Same as Ain't No
his
Parables.
small heart beginning to thump with fear. He looked for the ice cream cart, for the familiar figures, for any sign of her.
Damn.
But she was gone.
Give me 200.
Completely
I
and
told you
utterly
just
gone.
got. That's
The
crazy.
discarded ice cream
Can't
cone
keep
lay
going
melted on the
yeah.
bench, a solitary monument to a broken
I don't
promise.
pickpocket you.
For a
I
4-year-old,
said it the one
the
time.
world shrinks to the size of his immediate needs. Food, shelter,
He about broke my
familiar
fingers trying to
face.
get that
I
dollar.
know.
He didn't know the address of his
Nine.
grave, quiet home, nor the names of his distant relatives. He only knew Josie, and now Josie was gone. The park
Look,
was
it's
a
right here in
place
the
of
house.
joy.
1, 2, 3,
Became a
4.
louder,
But I guess it was.
strange, in different faces. He cried at first.
You just purchased the house.
Desperate sobs that quickly turned to
shit.
silence.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
People hurried
Why
past,
you be trying
Give him my money.
absorbed in their
No.
own lives to notice the
I may
small.
wear my
large
Give me my
things.
money.
Can I take a loan out from the
Pink-faced
bank?
woman
No.
noticed him, asked if
Okay,
he was
yeah.
lost, offered a comforting hand.
Ask your boyfriend
Miles,
for the start.
instinctively wary, mumbled that his nanny was just around the corner, a defense mechanism born of fear and a desperate hope she would reappear. He evaded her gentle questions, then, seeing her attention momentarily diverted, he slipped away. Days blurred into a
Why you shake
confusion,
it like that?
terrifying
Shake it like
kaleidoscope
that.
of hunger,
It's double.
cold, and a primal need for survival. He
Yeah, why?
navigated the unforgiving streets of Los Angeles, a tiny shadow
Free
of
parking,
its
give
towering
you some money,
building,
honey.
And then
learning
roll
quickly to
again.
blend in, to become invisible. He learned to differentiate between the casual charity of strangers and the predatory glint in others'
Get
eyes.
full.
I
Get
wish I had the sticky ability finger.
Walked an alleyway.
Sticky fingers
The
ability.
only constant companion
Why
that
you gonna
learned
bring
was
it with you? Oh, that's your car.
tightly in his hand.
Bye, Nick.
A tangible link to
Where
a
you gonna
life
buy
that
it?
now felt like
Oh,
a
yeah.
fantastical tale. The concrete jungle of the city was harsh, but the
600
whispers of
for
other
$8.
children,
Trying to have your money
stories
in
of a
order.
place
Feel like
where
this
the
and
ocean met the land, a place where no one asked questions, eventually reached his ears. He followed rumors, Driven by an instinct for survival and a desperate yearning for something resembling community, he hitchhiked rides with sympathetic truckers who only saw a hungry, quiet boy. He walked
Mr.
until
Man
his small
too.
feet ached, fueled by
take your ass to
convenience
jail.
and the hope of sanctuary.
Damn.
Weeks,
Take your ass
perhaps
to jail.
months to years later, time
What's
was a
the
You may
consistent
visit it,
concept on the
yeah.
streets. He finally stumbled upon it.
Yeah,
10
right
cities.
there with Eddie.
It wasn't a welcoming committee that greeted him, but the quiet, almost resigned acceptance of children who had seen too much. He found a small, unclaimed space among
How
the
many is
makeshift
that?
shelters and collapsed.
Are we going
Utterly
from like,
exhausted.
I know
I don't
The
know.
now?
can't
salty
mix it
air
more than
filled
5.
his lungs, a strange comfort
Bank
after the
notes.
stale,
We're gonna
acrid
run out of money
sense of
tonight.
the city. He watched the other children, wary, but also a little hopeful.
He's like,
Among
maybe one
them,
lesson.
he slowly recognized a few faces, flickering memories from the
Give me the
orphanages
money!
and temporary shelters he briefly passed through. There was Javier with his quick wit and even quicker hands, always finding a way to scrounge up
Sometimes
food.
pay out.
And Maji,
Looks like-
quiet and
Yeah.
watchful, who
What's
seemed to
Almost
understand
swamp
more than
cash.
she spoke. And Sarah, whose
And so
eyes
everybody
held
getting five?
similar, distant
How
sadness.
many you did? I
He
did
didn't know
5.
their names at
I
first,
did too.
I did
not
5.
fully, but there was a shared understanding, a silent recognition of their common plight.
5.
He lived there years later, forming a new kind of
Look, I'm going to jail.
a family.
You
I
already
need that
in
one
jail.
hundred.
You need money on
Wait,
your
I
books.
need that $100 extra dollars at the bank or the
But
jail
the temporary
thingy.
home
It's a good
had
question.
crying questions.
No, he is
They
with
were
the
his
free
beach
parking.
encampment friends. Miles had found them. Or perhaps they had found each other, drawn together by an unseen force, a shared destiny that had plucked them from the margins of society and set them adrift on the shores of survival. The beach encampment became his new home,
Over
a
here, look at
haven
this
from
ring.
the relentless glare of the world, but also a cage of unanswered questions. Chapter 4, the watcher on the horizon light at 10 City was a brutal master, but a remarkably effective teacher. The relentless
buy it.
Pacific wind, carrying the sharp tang of salt and the distant hum of the
I'm the
city,
really torn
became
that's
a
the thing.
constant companion, a presence as familiar as hunger pains.
I'm gonna put my house on his
Miles, now
property.
11, had shed the
Promise
last
him that me and
vestiges
Dad
of
must
his
love him.
pampered 4-year-old self. His frame was lean and wiry,
I'm the
formed by
slumlord.
endless
No, he is
foraging
something like trying to look for $400.
and a perpetual readiness to disappear at a moment's notice. His once soft hands were calloused, his movements economical, fluid. His senses, once dulled by hunger, had sharpened to an almost
Same exact
preternatural
role as
degree.
me.
He could read the subtle shifts in the tide
How
before
much
a
we
storm
got?
came, decipher the unspoken language of strangers, and distinguish the distant
This
drum
is-
of a high-end
We're
vehicle
only
from the
having
rattle
this
of a beat-up pickup
I
truck.
know, that's why I hate to be
Every
the person on the
rustle of
right
dry
like
grass,
him.
every shift in the wind,
Bet the greatest
every
sign,
shadow lengthening across the sand,
unless you pull.
held a potential message, a warning, or an opportunity. His worn toy car, once a symbol of his lost innocence,
Pass which way?
was now an
Left?
anchor,
I think
a
that says
tactile
4 times
reminder of
payout.
the questions
No.
that
Put
were
me on the
out
line.
there. He still
That
clutched
looks
it
like
sometimes,
pass left.
Pass
particularly
left.
during
Nah,
the
nah,
storm.
nah,
Don't be mad because
Bro,
he
look,
got
Trey, is it on the line or is it in the yellow?
Pass
He
Left.
left.
learned
like
not
that's
to
My
ask about his
direction,
past
it looks
alone.
yellow.
The other
But
kids,
from my
cities
direction,
had their
it
own
looks
ghosts,
blue.
their own
Bro,
unspoken
if I
stories.
lie, it looks like
Alright, push it
You
again.
didn't try,
Take a
and
picture
you
of it, is it in the
tried.
Gemini?
No, literally, where is this? We're having a heated
Is
debate.
it blue or gold?
Balance of trust and self-preservation. His closest
4 times
companions
payout.
in this
It was a
makeshift world
confirmation.
were Leo
4
and
times.
Sarah and Maji.
3.
Leo, a year older than Miles,
How many
was
did
the
you do?
undisputed leader of their small, tight-knit group. With a shock of unruly brown hair and eyes that missed
Would
nothing,
have had 3.
Leo possessed a street-smart cunning and an
Yeah, no, you
almost
would have me fucked up. I
encyclopedic
keep losing
knowledge
money
of the city's
because
hidden
he passed it around
corners.
the board.
He was the strategist, the provider, the one who could sniff out discarded food from a back alley dumpster or haggle a broken radio into working order. His laughter, when it came, was loud and uninhibited, a rare burst of pure joy in their
How
grim
many did you do,
existence.
Trey?
He had taught Miles how to pick pockets, hoard discarded food, never money, how to blend into a crowd, and the crucial skill of remaining utterly unremarkable. Maji, a year younger than Miles, was the quiet anchor. Her gaze, often distant and melancholic, held an
Oh,
ancient
we
wisdom.
got
She rarely
another
spoke,
person in here. Hi,
preferring to
Gerbil.
observe, but her presence was a comforting, grounding force.
Is
Sarah
that
had
it, the
uncanny
juice? Am I
ability to
right?
find forgotten
Yeah.
crannies where they could
Ah,
sleep
that's funny.
safely, and a knack
You're
for
funny.
coaxing a flicker of light from a damp fire. She was the group's conscience, the one who gently reminded them of their
You gotta order a farm with the monopoly. You feel me?
To strip it away. She often had a tattered book in her hands, its pages worn smooth from countless readings, a testament to her quiet inner life.
Wait, that looks like doubles.
Have you guys seen the oil farming videos?
They huddled together against the
Oh wait,
pool,
is this?
shared meager meals, and whispered dreams.
And one day I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna clap my head on the fan.
Distant. Miles's dreams, however, were tinged with a persistent darkness. The fleeting glimpses of his
Thanks for my 4 times payout.
the haunting question of Nanny Josie's sudden
My bank looking a
disappearance.
little low.
These were the bedrock of his waking thoughts and the specters of his troubled sleep.
Roach
He knew,
Motel Central.
with an instinct far older than his years, that the story of his parents was intertwined with something vast and dangerous, something that still loomed unseen
Can't believe I'm
over
here.
his precarious
It's a
life.
left, didn't you?
He often found himself
Karma,
looking
it's
for
really
scanning the
born.
horizon, not for ships, but
Wait,
for
we
something
can
else.
have- Don't you
something
step on me.
unseen,
I paid for it
a
to get
silent,
I did too.
almost primal alert that had become a constant companion. It began subtly,
Oh, yeah,
almost
baby.
imperceptibly,
Give me your
a
money.
faint shift in the landscape of their predictable hardship.
That's
Miles,
crazy.
with his heightened awareness, was the first to notice. A new face, sometimes in
I
a
should
suit,
buy the free parking.
You're the
sometimes
warden
in
now.
casual attire, appearing at the edge of the public beach, seemingly engrossed in a newspaper or a paperback, yet always just a little too still,
Oh,
a
shit.
little too attentive. Or a car, parked on the bluff overlooking Tent City, its engine silent, its windows slightly tinted, remaining there for hours, then vanishing, only to reappear
You
days
buying a
later.
Roach Motel?
It was never the same person, never the same car, yet there was a pattern to their presence, an undeniable,
Dang.
lingering impression
I
that
think that's
someone was
something
watching.
$200.
The watcher was Elias Thorne, though Miles, of course,
Dang,
had
Roach
no
Motel.
name for him. Thorne was an experienced
That's a
field
big
officer
class
for the
hotel.
Cradle Inspire Academy, a man of
Big class
precise
Roach
movements
Motel.
and quiet observation. His eyes, the color of storm clouds, missed nothing. He had been assigned to the
Oh,
ongoing
who's
Jordan
blue?
Watch, a cold
Dad?
freeze that had simmered on the
Damn,
Academy
how
and
you
not
$500.
surfaced for years.
I just
A
paid
lingering
you.
anomaly in their otherwise meticulously
I'm
cataloged
getting way
world
more
of
than you
trust
gave me.
and promising recruits.
I
His
can't
initial
keep it.
assignment was
Hey,
merely
don't worry about that. That was my jackpot. You can't count my
lingering
earnings.
threads from the Jordan incident resurfaced. He was looking for shadows, for anomalies, for anything out of place. And then he saw Miles. Thorne had a dozen aliases,
Brand's buying
a
up all the
different
damn
persona
house.
for every street corner and
Feel
every
that space
scenario.
you fucked up.
Sometimes he was a tourist with a camera, capturing the
Maybe one of your
picturesque
houses.
despair of the homeless encampment. Other times, he was a jogger, effortlessly blending
Man, I
into the
get the
morning
wrong
routine of beachgoers. He
Don't
used
run under the
advanced
double.
surveillance equipment, hidden cameras, long-range microphones, and biometric scanners disguised as ordinary binoculars. He watched Miles. Not just the physical movement, but the subtle tells. The way Miles scanned his environment, the unconscious protective gestures he made
Friends, by the
towards
way.
his friends, the quick, almost
Probably broke.
imperceptible hand signals exchanged. One biting cold evening, a small crisis erupted in Tent City. A rival, more
Friends
aggressive
don't
group
even
of
work right
older
now, guys.
teenagers from a different part of the beach attempted to raid their meager food stash. The air crackled with tension, a palpable fear spreading through the younger children. Leo, always the first to act, confronted them, but they were outnumbered, outmuscled. Miles, a sudden, cold clarity in his eyes, didn't hesitate. He didn't fight, not
Oh,
directly.
and $700.
Instead,
From
he
nuts.
moved with grace, over in the gathering dust,
$5.
creating diversions, triggering small, calculated disturbances that disoriented the aggressors. He kicked over a pile of empty cans, creating a loud clatter that drew attention away from Leo. He then expertly
What you want?
tricked one of the bigger
No.
boys by subtly extending a foot,
Middle upper
making
class.
it look like an
Look, I'm gonna start charging
accidental
y'all
stumble,
$100 more
giving
for the
Leo a
house and put
crucial
down.
opening to land a well-placed punch. Maji, surprisingly, followed his lead,
Return on that.
creating a similar distraction with a strategically placed pebble and a well-aimed shout that echoed, oddly,
One in a
like a
mystery.
seagull's cry.
I owe someone else
The
$500.
attackers,
Oh my
confused and
God.
frustrated by the
You?
unexpected
You?
resistance,
You're
retreating,
taking my money.
grumbling curses as they vanished
Go work the
into
phone if
dark.
you need cash. That was taken from
Thorne,
me.
observing
Do a
from
little
a
bit of
distant
singing
bluff
for some
through his night
change, a
vision
little
binoculars,
change.
had witnessed the entire skirmish.
What is
I
wrong
really
with
had
you?
to debate giving you that last $100.
Maji's quick thinking, But it was Miles's performance that
Just
captivated him.
Oh
The
wait, we got
voice
that.
movements were
I ain't
not
gonna,
those
I ain't gonna
of
short
a
you now.
but of an
We have
intelligent
it back.
tactician
Yeah, it's a
and
question
natural
mark.
infiltrator. He was like water, flowing around
Is it on?
obstacles, using misdirection
Wow.
and perception
You don't got
rather
that
than
much, so
brute
don't
force.
bet more than 3.
His actions were precise, almost elegant
Look, I
in their
need some of
efficiency.
that.
This wasn't
No
just
one.
street smarts. It was something innate, something
You
rare.
don't trust your roll.
Warren spent weeks, then months, compiling his report, his initial curiosity deepening into a profound certainty.
I'm dead.
The boy,
That's right.
Miles, possessed a unique combination of
I'm
resilience,
sorry.
adaptability,
I always
and an
do that.
extraordinary
I didn't even know.
observation and subtle
What you
manipulation.
mean?
Just stop
He
saying
had
the
a
pennies.
natural,
It's your turn,
almost
right?
instinctual understanding
it
of
is.
human behavior and
have
environmental
you in it?
awareness.
It's
He
so
was
nice.
a diamond in the rough,
Good.
I'm
tempered
just
by
enjoying the
hardship,
game.
Just
yet
don't let it
possessing
go.
an
Don't let it
undeniable,
go.
Y'all let it get
almost
to you.
luminescent
I'm not letting
potential.
it get to me.
His
No.
reports, initially
Come on,
just
stop driving
routine
the car.
updates on the Jordan watch, began to focus
Shoot
almost
it like it's a
exclusively
basketball.
on Miles. Thorne
That's
outlined the
good.
boy's uncanny ability to disappear and reappear without a trace, his resourcefulness in obtaining
What
supplies,
are you visiting?
his quiet leadership
You know
among
who?
the other street children.
Not your mom.
He noted Miles's unwavering loyalty to Leo and Maji, a testament to his capacity for profound connection, despite his harsh upbringing. Thorne documented Miles's moments of intense focus, the way his gaze
Ooh,
would linger on
we get
small
$200
details,
and we
his
get to
almost
bed.
photographic memory for faces and places, and the sheer tenacity that kept him
Keep
alive
your hands out
and,
my bank.
against all odds, subtly thriving. The reports landed on the desk of Dean Sampson. Sampson,
I'd be
a
careful. I
man
would never
burdened by
bet
the
more than
ghosts
him,
of
just in
past
case you had
missions
to
and
pass
I
it.
know.
the promise
I got a
he
little
made
more.
to the Jordans. Read
said
Thorne's
that.
detailed assessments with a growing sense of unease, and, eventually, a flicker of hope. The name of the boy was missing from the report, Thorne having identified him only as Subject Echo,
Orange.
7.
Yeah, you're
But
big
the
one.
descriptions of his appearance and
Money
age,
back.
coupled with the location of his observation, sent Joel through Sampson's carefully
I would
constructed
stop right there
composure.
too.
Could it be? Was this the child he had been searching for all these years, unknowingly? The Watcher had made his decision. Miles
keep
was
holding on
not
to it for
just
you.
another homeless
Yeah.
child. He was a candidate, an extraordinary one, for the Cradle Inspire
We observe.
Academy. The recruitment process for such a talent could not be
Ooh.
conventional. It would
Missed the
require
button.
precision,
Missed the button.
discretion,
Yeah,
and
it's
What?
gonna
specific
buy
touch.
that too.
Elias Thorne began to shift his surveillance, his focus
It's
narrowed,
mine, the,
his objective now clear. Secure subject Echo, 7.
Wait, where'd you
The
be
gilded
still?
gates of the
I gotta move
CIA
it.
were about to
I
open
didn't
for a
move it, I
boy
just
from the
got it.
beaches, whether he knew it or not. Chapter 5. The swift hand of the ghost of pre-dawn chill
I got
was
10, but I can't
was
get
a
that one.
familiar
You
enemy.
got
A
3 more
constant
Why I
problems.
keep
companion
getting
to the
chances,
desperate
bro?
hum of
4.
survival.
Because you need a
This
chance.
sprawling,
1, 2, 3,
chaotic
4.
labyrinth,
No!
Told you.
usually vibrant with the shouts of vendors and the crush of bustling crowds,
I'm not having a
was
good
now
luck.
hushed, predatory landscape. Miles, Leo,
You
and
are.
Monty moved like urban ghosts
I
through
will
its
get
shadowy
mine.
arteries,
You can't do
their
more than
breath
3, make
booming in
no
the
money.
frigid air.
Much more
Tonight's
money in
mission was
Jaguar.
critical. Their
I
stomachs
need mine
growled
to
in
have
unison.
fun out.
A chorus of
How's that
He
open
bailed you
right
out of jail. He
Rogers
bailed
Give
you
me
out.
bail money, so I didn't have to pay the 100.
bins of discarded produce and the occasional oversight of a tired baker,
Nah, you
Was
pay
that
my bill, I don't
underground?
pay it.
but also a dangerous
Yeah.
territory.
You pay my, I don't pay, you pay my
With
bill.
unseen eyes.
But if I have a
and
bail
rival
daddy,
gangs.
you pay for my bail.
Same drill, Leo whispered.
She already
His
paid.
voice alone
Yeah.
got to be command.
So that
He
slid my
pushed
little
the
hundred
Right.
back.
right entrance of the
Why not press the
largest
damn
grocery
button?
stall,
We pushed the
where
button.
sometimes, just
She wants
sometimes,
you to give me the
a
rest.
crate of fruit
Every
but
single-
salvageable fruit was left
She's like,
out.
whoa.
Maji, you take the alley.
I think that's not a line, but I think it's a jackpot.
Miles,
It
looks like
don't
says
two
do
2
that.
times pay.
Watch for that.
Okay.
Miles nodding.
I
His
need
eyes
that
already
jackpot.
sweeping
It's
the
only
dimly lit
$200.
street.
Alright.
Nah,
A
I don't
familiar
care.
nod of tension.
Because I got more
filled the
here.
sky.
2 times pay.
Then was Roger
Give
and
me
his
6.
crew. Roger, a year or two older than Leo, was a thick-necked, scowling menace,
That's dull.
his cruel laugh a constant echo in Miles' memory. Their rivalry was deep-seated, fueled by territory.
You know in Squid Games when he actually starts to win?
And Roger's particular relish for tormenting anyone smaller or
I don't know
weaker.
nothing about Squid
Miles
Games
knew,
yet.
with
I'm
the
still
cold
watching.
certainty of instinct, that
Well,
I
Roger's
just found
group
out
would be out tonight.
You
Their
can't.
hunger as sharp as
they-
his own. Maji, a
The
small,
police
dark
guy
shape,
is like finding out
melted into a
what's going on
parallel
with the
alley,
facility.
her movement silent,
That's
almost
where I'm at.
preternatural.
He's going down the
Her
whole
keen
street
eyes
there.
and ears were
to
their
both
first
people.
line of defense, her whistle a chilling siren. Leo began to approach the
Doubles
grocery
again.
stall,
Hey.
his focus absolute, his body coiled for action, his movements a practiced ballet of
You
stealth.
gotta pay
Miles, however,
$500
remained rooted,
to
his
yourself.
gaze fixed not on Roger's usual haunts, but on a more distant anomaly.
You gonna pay
He
yourself?
heard it first, a subtle, almost imperceptible purr of a
How would I
meticulously
put myself in
machine
starting
I
my
think that's what he
for a
said.
typical market
I'll
delivery
be
truck,
nice with you.
too refined for a local's ride. Then he saw it, a sleek,
Have your
black
left hand
sedan
pay you
pulling
right
to the
hand.
curb, its engine cutting off with a
6 and
stop
4 is 10,
sign.
right?
Yeah.
A
Yes.
figure emerged, tall and composed, dressed in an impeccably tailored suit that seemed glaringly out of place against the market's gritty background. It was Keith, the CIA recruiter, precisely on
That's the same
time
thing
for
we
his
went
prearranged
on.
meeting with Raj, whose family ran a small electronics
That's the
repair
rules?
shop
Yeah.
just off the main
Sometimes
market
goes,
square.
You can't roll a double
Keith
3
was
times, you can't let
preoccupied,
them go twice.
his
Three.
attention focused on the
You
address.
can't roll a double 3
Seriously?
times
He was
either.
here to recruit Raj,
I have never
a
heard
brilliant
of
young mind
going
identified
Well,
by
guess
the
what?
Academy's
You don't have to worry
algorithm,
about that.
and
You
he
know
was
why?
already mentally rehearsing
The
his
odds
steps,
of you doing that
eager
is
to sell
next
the
to zero. That's
dream
like
of
getting hit
cradle
by
to
lightning.
spire. He didn't spare a glance
Highly
for the
unlikely.
shadowy alleys, his
Hey,
mind too consumed with his
That's like
primary
getting free
mission.
parking more than once
He
in a
adjusted
game.
his cufflink,
Very,
then
very
reached
rare.
into his inner jacket pocket, pulling out a
Hit by
slim wallet
lightning.
to confirm
Hit
the
by fire.
precise location of Raj's family shop, a habit born of meticulous preparation. Miles's eyes, trained by years of scarcity,
My money, keep your ass out my bag.
it was
Next time
thick,
I'm gonna find you
bulging with
$100.
what looked like a wad of fills.
Chicky?
A jolt of pure,
Stay out the bag.
primal hunger shot through
This
him.
is like,
This wasn't
I-
about a few bruised
he's like,
apples.
whatever.
I remember last time he yelled at you and you got still
Enough
hurt.
to feed them for weeks.
I didn't yell at
Maybe
him.
even
Not
to
him.
a safer place to sleep for
Oh,
a
Like,
he
night.
don't
did.
touch my big money!
Oh, yeah.
So dead serious.
He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so serious. Don't do it.
Miles launched himself
I'm
forward.
the treasurer. I gotta
up
make
the
sure
lower
everything
road
stays on the
into
up.
pre-dawn gloom. He moved
I
with
got
the
10
silent grace of a
bitches!
seasoned predator. 1 second, Keith was standing there, confident and focused. The next, a small, light
I feel
shadow
like I
brushed
just won
past
Squid
him.
Games. I'm floating.
Miles's
I'm
fingers,
just happy I
swift
don't gotta
and
go through my
practiced,
own pocket.
dipped into Keith's pocket with surgical precision, extracting the wallet before
I just
Keith
remembered I
even
got
registered
food.
its
Where'd you put
disturbance
food at?
in the air around him.
Michael?
Miles tucked it deep into his own tattered pocket and vanished back into the alley's mouth, melting into the shadows with the same startling speed he had here. Keith, finally looking up from his notes, began to feel for his
I
wallet,
did not want to eat
His hand
until
patted his
I
pocket,
freaking.
then patted it again, a growing
Finish my
alarm
work.
looming in his chest. Empty. His eyes, sharp and trained, darted around.
I don't have
He
teeth.
hadn't felt a thing, but he'd seen a fleeting movement, a glimpse of a small, agile figure disappearing into the alley.
That's somebody's
His
paycheck.
CIA training instantly kicked in. Observation, reaction,
are
pursuit.
you trying to use
This
more
wasn't
than
part of the
your,
Raj recruitment.
Oh, I gave you, I thought you had 6. Oh, I let him 5.
Roll again.
He couldn't
You got
afford.
doubles.
Hey,
double?
he barked, his voice sharp and
Two
authoritative,
include.
cutting through the market's quiet. He didn't hesitate. He launched
Yeah,
himself
like
into
you
a
ain't got
chase,
half a bank
his
in your
tailored suit surprisingly unhindering as he
I ain't
plunged
got no
into
houses.
the
How am I
grimy
supposed to buy
alleyway.
houses if I ain't got no
His
money?
senses now fully
I got
engaged.
2 houses.
Oh, I
Miles,
got two
hearing
houses.
Keith's
No,
shout
they don't.
and the surprisingly rapid thud of his footsteps,
You got 4.
grinned
I do
grimly.
not have 4 houses.
He got, you got 3.
Keith would be fast.
Somebody got 4. And somebody else got like 8.
He weaved through the labyrinth
Who
of
is this
passages,
Color
ducking
the fuck
under
me up.
laundry
Goes
lines,
to
Six.
using
You're
the
orange.
overflowing bins, using every inch of his intimate knowledge of the market's hidden paths. He could hear
You gotta
Leo
go
and
there.
Rocky whispering frantically from their positions, undoubtedly aware of the sudden change.
Dance
in
to
their
make sure
mission.
they dance.
Just as
Dance.
Miles rounded the
Forward.
corner, preparing to lead Keith on a longer, more circuitous route, he slammed directly into a solid, unyielding
Wait,
wall
you
of
didn't spin
muscle.
it on it?
He staggered back,
Thank you.
winded, and
She's
looked
got
up
to
into the
spin.
sneering
Yeah.
face of
She
Roger.
keeps landing on the street.
Roger's eyes,
Hold on,
wide
let me
with
see
surprise
that.
at the collision, quickly narrowed into a predatory
We
stare.
spin on it.
Well,
Be
if it
free.
isn't the little rat, he snarled, a cruel smile spreading across his face. He eyed Keith, who was
That
now
looked like
closing
a
in, then
jackpot.
looked at Miles's slightly bulging pocket. What's this?
It's on the line.
Running from a mark, are we? What did you snag, Runt?
I think it's dead on the
Miles
line.
said nothing, his mind racing.
Oh no, put
This
your
is
finger in front of the
exactly what
pointer.
he
Looks like
tried
it's
to
pointed 2
avoid.
times.
Roger and his 2 hulking lieutenants had them outnumbered.
Which side did your
Keith
finger
rounded the
on?
corner, stopping short at the sight of his briefcase.
The green side 2
His
times 3
eyes,
out.
sharp
Alright,
and
that's what I thought.
deceptive,
That's how you
took in
check.
the
You put
tablet.
your finger up.
Miles, a small,
I just put one.
defiant figure, cornered by a trio of larger,
Everybody only one
aggressive
time pay
teenagers.
out though.
His wallet was almost certainly
They got
on
no money.
Miles. Give it back, Keith
It's 2 times
demanded,
payout.
his voice low and
And then
full.
send the bank is
Every inch
The
the
bank
Oh,
train
the
is
bank's
was
empty?
you get
He
one
took a
time.
step
that's
forward.
what you get. We got
Roger let out a
$300
harsh,
in the bank.
barking laugh. Look at this voice. Big
Oh,
shot
Roscoe?
in a
The
fancy
game's
suit.
over when we got
Think
on
you
the
can waltz
bank.
into my territory and tell us what to do. He gestured menacingly at Keith. And you, Miles, what's he got that's so special? Hand it over. Before Miles could react, Roger lunged,
It's
not
owned.
at Keith, but at Miles'
Who owns
pocket,
green? Who owns
attempting
dog?
to snatch the wallet.
You okay,
Miles
buddy?
instinctively twisted away, but Roger's
easy now.
large hand snagged his
Game
arm.
over, so
The
Four.
wallet, half pulled from Miles' pocket,
Where's your birthday?
flashed in the dim light.
6 and a clue.
Chaos erupted. Keith, realizing the situation was escalating, moved with surprising speed. He lunged for Miles,
$600.
not to hurt him, but to retrieve his
Hello,
property.
neighbor.
Roger, seeing the move,
My own
shoved
friend.
Miles hard into the side of the fruit stall. Fruit tumbled,
The
crates
sound.
crashed, and the air filled with the angry shouts of
Exciting.
Roger's gang, the alarmed cry of an early rising vendor, and the sudden, shrill
But we're
whistle
not betting.
from Maji in the distance.
$300 in the
A
bank.
warning
It's been
that
to
was
see
announced
Slumber
to
House.
He's the only
The
one that can bet.
commotion,
You can bet one.
the shouts, the crashing crates, and the appearance of a man in a suit chasing a child quickly drew attention. Footsteps thudded from multiple directions
This is a
as
great
vendors
jackpot.
and market
Four
security
times
It's
jackpot.
right on the line.
The last
Say it
thing
again.
Keith needed was a public spectacle and a civilian incident that jeopardized his mission for Rush. He couldn't risk revealing his true purpose by getting entangled in a street brawl over a wallet. Miles, seeing market security converge from one direction, and hearing the thud of Roger's gang trying to surround them from another, knew this was a fleeting window of opportunity. With a desperate surge of adrenaline, he ducked low under Roger's arm, ignoring the burning pain as his shoulder scraped against a splintered crate. He darted away, not towards the bakery or the grocery stall, but towards a narrow, almost invisible gap between two delivery trucks that led to a darkened service alley. Grab him.
There's only 2
Roger
properties
roared,
left.
frustrated. Stop him. Keith yelled, equally frustrated, but his CIA training
All right.
prioritizing the bigger picture.
Yeah.
He
Hey,
needed to avoid full engagement, secure his primary target, Raj, and then deal with the stolen wallet. Miles, a small, light shadow, squeezed through the impossibly tight space.
I don't even want that.
Behind him, he heard Roger's heavy grunts as the larger
Yeah,
boy
nightmares.
struggled to follow, momentarily bottlenecked by the gap. He heard Keith's urgent footsteps, then a sharp, almost resigned sigh. Miles didn't look back. He ran, pumping his legs, the weight of the stolen wallet a satisfying, defiant bulge in his pocket. He could hear Leo and Maji's familiar light footsteps now, quickly falling into step behind him as they too took the opportunity to escape the escalated chaos. They knew the alleys, the rooftops, the hidden passages better than
Thank you
anyone.
very much. Please
They
come
were
again.
home free for now.
Man, bugs
As
don't
the
get you.
sounds of the market commotion faded behind them, Miles allowed himself a small, triumphant grin. He had the wallet.
Jackpot.
They had escaped. Keith, however, found himself caught between the
We'll
rapidly
get both the
approaching
jackpots.
market
They just ain't double
security
jackpot. Put
and
one of
the
them
need to
motherfuckers back.
maintain his cover. He
You got
watched
your
the
jackpot.
small figures of Miles, Leo,
Okay.
and Sarah vanish.
a fat stack of cash.
He chilling because he want both the jackpots.
There's no double jackpot for the bank.
There's no
Under his
double
breath.
jackpot. The
Oh.
jackpot
Proving
is
it would be a
jackpot.
priority,
That's
Oh,
all.
okay.
but it would have to work.
Maybe I was only
His
putting it on
mission
one
for
side.
Raj came
I didn't
first.
know.
With Miles and his friends successfully escaping with Keith's
He
wallet,
said there is no
and
double
Keith having to
jackpot.
prioritize his recruitment mission for Raj.
Oh.
Chapter
Why do they
6.
have 2 jackpots?
The architect of tomorrow, the afternoon of the market skirmish, with the metallic taste of adrenaline still lingering on his tongue, a faint, almost imperceptible tremor residing in his fingertips that he had to consciously suppress. Keith pushed the incident with his stolen
Bracelet?
wallet to the
No,
back of his
he didn't
mind.
bet that.
His immediate priority was
This
Raj,
is swap
a
house.
brilliant young man
Oh.
whose family ran Raj
Swap
Market,
house.
a bustling market stall brimming with electronics. Raj's aptitude for complex algorithms, his intuitive
12.
grasp of quantum mechanics at a precocious age, and his ability to dismantle and reassemble any electronic device with startling speed, all gleaned from a meticulous background report, made him a prime candidate for Cradle Inspire Academy. This was the kind of mind that built the future, and Keith was dedicated to securing it.
Might as
He
well.
approached
She
Raj's
does.
family shop with practice ease, his tailored suit a stark contrast to the warm facade. The interior was a fascinating jumble of wires, circuit boards, and the faint, nostalgic scent of soldering flux that permeated the very air. Their living quarters, directly above the shop, were surprisingly compact but
Whoever gets
vibrant.
the last house is the one that
Sunlight
wins.
struggled to
Yeah.
penetrate the
Whoever
stacks
has
of
the most
full
houses.
circuit boards and
I thought that's what
repurposed
really
then
most
electronics.
money.
No.
That's
That's
after,
If
if
it's
everyone
one
dies.
of- yeah.
Worn rugs and shelves overflowing with half-finished
I was thinking we'll
projects.
just keep going.
A small, makeshift desk was crammed into a corner, piled high with textbooks whose spines were
No,
crushed
because your
for
houses
diligent
would count
use.
as money, so you
The
would
walls
count
were
your
adorned
properties.
not with
You
family
could still
photos,
win, 'cause your
but
money
with
is, if you're
intricate
doing it by
diagrams
money,
of
then you would
schematics
have your
and
houses too,
handwritten
so that would be
equations,
your money.
some extending in
that was only
sprawling
3.
calculations
Oh,
across
no,
the
it's not
wallpaper
though. How
itself.
much do you need?
From a dimly lit corner, a small, bright-eyed girl, no older than 7,
Point of the
peered
game.
out.
Dutch properties.
This was Priya, Raj's younger sister. Her fingers deftly made a complex pattern with
I
discarded
don't think
wires,
on this game it
fashioning what looks like a miniature, articulated robotic spider.
Wait.
She held it up for a moment,
And the game is as soon as the properties are done.
before discreetly tucking it away as Keith enters. Raj himself, a slender boy with intense, intelligent eyes magnified by thick-rimmed glasses, was hunched over a disassembled radio. His breath was even, almost imperceptible, a quiet testament to the singular focus that narrowed his world to the intricate pathways of the circuit board. A fine sheen of perspiration barely visible on his upper lip hinted at the mental exertion, the intricate calculations churning beneath his thoughtful brow. His
Yay!
parents, their faces etched with a profound weariness that settled deep around their eyes, offered smiles that stretched thin, revealing a nervous tightening at the corners of their mouths. Their hands, calloused from years of work, clasped and unclasped reflexively, a subtle dance of apprehension and
And
struggle.
then hit rent house and everything.
Were with the rare opportunity presented to their gifted son. Keith, a master of persuasion, began his carefully rehearsed pitch. He spoke of the academy not as a military facility, but as an elite educational institution, a place where the brightest young minds were nurtured, a potential unlocked in ways conventional schools
Oh.
couldn't fathom. As Keith wove his tapestry of vision and opportunity, he observed the subtle, involuntary shifts in Claire's posture, shoulders, initially rigid with caution, began to ease.
Where's the baby go?
Breathing, shallow and hesitant at first, deepened almost imperceptibly as the vision of a brighter future for their son settled in their minds. He painted a vivid picture of cutting-edge research, unparalleled facilities, and a future of purpose and profound contribution.
Aren't you glad I put
He
my
emphasized the safety, the security, the unparalleled resources available to every student, subtly aligning with the natural desires of any parent hoping for a better life for their child. He offered not just an education, but a legacy. He saw the flicker of nascent pride in the father's eyes, the almost
My
imperceptible
houses are spread out
softening of the
exactly
mother's
like
worried
every
lines.
5 squares.
Raj,
I didn't
initially
put
a
it
study
that
in
way.
contained shyness, his gaze often fixed on his hands
It's a
or the
takedown.
polished tabletop, slowly began to unfurl. As Keith spoke of quantum advancements and cutting-edge design, a subtle quickening of breath became visible in the slight rise and fall of his chest. His
Well, you can
fingers,
double count me.
previously
Because I
still,
wanted to make sure it was
began
really
nervous,
6. I wasn't tripping.
anticipatory twitch
Okay, I buy
against
it.
his
Game's
thigh,
over.
as if
Dad won.
eager to grasp the
I'm not
theoretical
buying it.
constructs Keith laid out.
4, 5, 6.
Okay, I thought so.
His
That's why I
intense
kept counting. I was like, why do you keep
Fully
counting?
lost
So
I
I'm
know,
like,
why you
It's 'cause
double
the board's
tapping
split.
the...
It's 'cause the board is
it was
split.
fucking
Tiny
me up. Yeah.
physiological
That's why I
gasps
kept
of
counting.
comprehension
okay.
or
Because I was
bursting
Game's
as
still winning.
he asked sharp, incisive
Wait, I
questions
was on
about the
here.
curriculum, the
1,
technology,
2, 3,
the
4,
exact
5,
nature
6.
of
Okay,
the
good.
special
Why?
projects
It's because the
Keith
board
alluded
split,
to.
like you said. 1,
Raj's
2,
mother,
3,
hesitant but
4,
persistent,
5,
peppered
6,
Keith with a flurry
7,
of practical concerns.
8.
What about his diet? Would he be warm enough? How often could they visit?
I was so happy.
Was there truly no military affiliation?
No.
Each question was met with Keith's practiced reassurance, a calm, unruffled demeanor that chipped away at their parental anxieties, strengthening the illusion of a prestigious boarding school. Keith answered with a blend of honesty and tantalizing vagueness, revealing just enough to spark curiosity without giving away the academy's deepest secrets.
I want to
He
big old
spoke
school.
of the unlimited possibilities, the
Bankrupt.
chance to be at the forefront of
Too
innovation,
bad you in
to
bed now.
shape the future of the nation, even the world.
I know.
For a boy who saw the world in complex equations and intricate circuits,
Don't
the
toss them, we'll
promise
never
of
have
such
them
advanced
again.
learning was an irresistible
But
siren.
their dads will take them.
Priya, meanwhile, had quietly emerged from her corner, her small head cocked, listening intently, her bright eyes tracking the conversation with an unnerving comprehension
Almost
that
got my
went
money back.
unnoticed
Go
by
to jail
adults.
or.
After nearly 2 hours of
Like, I almost
discussion,
got my money back.
punctuated by
I gotta
nervous
pay you
sips
later.
of tea offered by Raj's mother, the parents made their decision. Tears, hot and shimmering with a complex alchemy of pride, a searing fear, and a profound, aching hope welled in Raj's mother's eyes, tracing slow, unbidden paths down her cheeks. Raj's father, his jaw tight with the momentousness of the decision, extended a hand that trembled not just slightly, but with a perceptible, fine tremor as he gripped the pen.
Alright.
The signature was deliberate, yet bore the faint, almost invisible waver of deeply felt emotion as he signed the comprehensive contract,
I got
a
8.
document that outlined the Academy's full responsibility for Raj's education, welfare, and future, while subtly granting the Academy absolute control. Keith watched.
$300 for sure. $300 for sure. Can I hear 4? Can I hear 4? Can I hear 5? 5, 5.
Secure.
3.
Wonderful, Keith said,
Sold to the blue
his
man.
voice imbued with genuine warmth. This is a truly momentous day for Raj and for your family. He paused, glancing briefly at his watch. If you'll excuse me for just a moment,
Why you
I
trying
need to
to
make a quick
say
call
that?
to our
It's
transport
not actually gonna
coordinator.
happen.
Just a final
even
confirmation
in
of
Florida.
arrival times.
Make sure she's in
He
Georgia.
offered a reassuring smile and stepped
Right.
outside,
Pete?
pulling out his discreet comms
Right.
unit as he
Yeah.
walked towards the
Pete.
stage. Target secured, Keith murmured into the mic,
500
his
bucks.
voice low,
Everyone keeps landing on
and
that
an unexpected bonus.
property.
Priya, the younger sister,
That's popular property.
7 years old, exceptional cognitive function, observed her today. She's already demonstrating advanced pattern recognition and spatial reasoning far beyond her age group. Confirmed match to secondary criteria. We'll need full family extraction. Make it clean. No witnesses, no loose ends. He listened for a moment, then nodded. Understood. The usual protocol. Seamless transition. He slipped the device back into his inner jacket pocket,
Oh,
a subtle sense of triumph settling in his chest. When Keith re-entered the shop, Roger's mother, with a gentle smile, was preparing another round of tea, pouring steaming cups for everyone, including a smaller one for Priya. A final toast to Roger's future, she murmured, her voice thick with emotion, as she turned to retrieve a fresh batch of sugar from a shelf behind her. Keith seized his chance. From a hidden compartment in his kit, he produced a small, silver vial. With practiced efficiency, he uncorked it and allowed a fine, tasteless powder,
no, I had
designed to
no.
dissolve
Oh,
instantly and leave no residue, to drift almost
No
invisibly
residue.
into each of the cooling
Two
teacups.
and a chance.
He stirred them subtly with his own spoon,
One.
ensuring complete dissolution. Before the
Double
family
chance.
returned, oblivious, their faces alight with the quiet joy
Still
of the
house?
dream
Double
realized.
It's on the line.
They all raised their
I
cups,
agree.
a collective silence speaking volumes of the moment's gravity and the hopes it carried.
Underline.
Raj took a large gulp, followed by his parents, and even little Priya, who had taken a seat beside her brother, sipped from her own cup,
Is this,
eyes still gleaming with curiosity. Within minutes, the subtle changes
All right.
began, a
Still
silent,
one of mine.
creeping
Win the
wave
game.
of neurological
'Cause I
shutdown.
got the Minnie's
Raj
house
was
and
the
she's
first.
Or if you steal a house from anybody,
One
people win,
lethargy
because you guys have the
seeped
same
through
amount of
his
houses.
Yeah.
A feeling
Still a
akin
house.
to blood turning thick and slow. The frantic whir of his
You
analytical
didn't change
mind,
your name. You just put
usually
your
a
color on
constant
it, son.
fun, began to quiet, the sharp edges of his thoughts blurring into a soft, indistinct cloud. His eyelids, once
Red one?
wide with a boyish
Yeah, red
curiosity, felt weighted,
Then we
as
go back to
if
the
tiny,
plan.
invisible anchors
Oh,
pulled
go
them
get my
down.
food.
A slow, steady exhale
Y'all
escaped
in
his
that
lips
lie.
as his head
No, you
drooped,
don't have to. It's
chin
fine.
brushing his chest.
I want a
The
bulk
rigid
wire.
tension in his shoulders
I don't want to
loosened,
go back. I'm
and
gonna
his
go get
slender
one.
frame softened,
I'm gonna
settling
go to
gently into himself. His breathing deepened, a
I have my
slow,
right testicle
regular
hurts.
rhythm that indicated a profound
And that's
relaxation,
Hot on
as if
live.
his nervous
Can
system
you
had
put this way?
finally surrendered its
I'll say it
future
again.
nuggets. His father, mid-sentence about future visits, stammered, his eyes losing focus as a profound, sudden drowsiness enveloped him. His hand, still holding his teacup, loosened its grip, the ceramic rattling against the table before he slumped forward, his head resting heavily on his arms, a soft, guttural sigh escaping his lips. Raj's mother, noticing her husband's sudden stillness, turned, a frown creasing her brow. But before she could voice a concern, her own vision blurred. A wave